Oh dearie me. It's a bit nasty weather out here, isn't it? Closed on its own. So Jasper's going to be a good boy at school today, and the teacher's going to tell me that he's a good boy, and then we're going to go to the skate park. Isn't that right?
Yes, Dave.
We'll see how Jasper does at school today, but based on how he was on the way in, it's not a high chance, unfortunately. So I have just finished this, which is a kind of mounty GoPro thing that hopefully will hold this microphone a bit further away from the camera. Otherwise, what happens is, as I'm holding it like this, I just get a bunch of microphone in the shot. So hopefully it'll be a bit better now. Also, what I've done is I've fiddled with the sound settings. Now that it's got all windy again, I have realised that if I don't do something, I'm not going to be able to get decent sound outside. And the mics were in auto level, so it was jumping all over the place in terms of loudness. Really not ideal. So, let's come out here and talk about something briefly. I hope people can hear me. Yeah, it's that wind, man. I mean, I've got the wind muffler thingy on it, but it doesn't seem to do enough of a job. But I mean, this is why it's a test, so I guess we'll find out if it's going to work for me or whether I'll have to go back to the drawing board and fiddle with those levels again. I hate wind. Wind is such a pain. I might have to invest in some new windshields. Okay, so let's talk about Renault and production and VW and the complete and utter lack of commitment that a lot of car manufacturers seem to have towards their own electric vehicle products. I have heard from a subscriber that Renault has done a bunch of deals in Europe that has basically tied up something like 4,600 cars. That's not a problem, except what that means is the knock-on for production in the UK is that if you want a new Renault Zoe with a 40 kilowatt hour battery, and I'm sure you do, it's a 6-month wait. So a lot of people are actually, according to this guy on the Zoe forums, are saying, well, you know what, I can't be bothered with the wait, I'm going to go get a VW e-Golf, because that way there's only a wait of a couple of months. Okay, that makes sense. I hate waiting, so I think people are probably doing the right thing there. However, one small problem with that plan is that if you want a VW e-Golf, there are only 4 dealerships in the whole of the UK that will sell you one or can service it. So if you're not near one of those, oh dear. And this is kind of the problem. You know, we've reached a point where a lot more people would be willing to go down the EV route, but the lack of commitment from the manufacturers, both and the dealers as well, is holding back that adoption. I know they'll get there eventually, but it's still quite frustrating because I want them to get there now. Right, that's enough of a wind test. I hope people could actually hear what I just said. Time to head off and see if Jasper's been a good boy and we're going to the skate park or not. I've definitely noticed that as the term is wearing on, he's getting more and more tired. He had an hour and a half sleep yesterday when we got back from school, so I guess he's probably looking forward to half term. And tell you what, let's get over to the school, secure our parking space, and then I'm going to talk about Audi and car lists for company cars, because that's another little sticking point that's holding EVs back a bit. Okay, so another one of my subscribers has brought it to my attention that he knows 3 people who have wound up getting A4s, A5s, A7s, because there are no EVs or hybrids on the company car list where they work. It's just crazy. And I actually know somebody who also wound up driving an Audi. Oh no, actually he's driving a BMW, but either way, same principle. Guess what? No EVs, no hybrids on the company car list, except I think they had a Prius. So that's kind of disappointing. Now, jumping back to production for a moment, what you're seeing with the likes of Renault, and also probably VW to some extent, is the reality of producing EVs. You can't just click your fingers and out pop a huge number of EVs from your existing car factory. You need to invest a huge amount of money and time in building up that production capacity, and it's very difficult to just repurpose existing lines in order to do that. So what that kind of leads to, I suppose, is my belief that genuinely Tesla is probably worth their share price. Obviously I'm not giving any share advice here, don't. If you want to buy shares, that's your business, not mine. But nonetheless, the fact that they have the battery capacity, they have the production lines, or you know, they're in the process of building them in the case of the Model 3 one. I mean, I like to think the production line's finished, but they've still got some issues clearly, because the cars aren't rolling off at a rate of 10,000 a month just yet. By the time they get to that point, they will have more EV production capacity from that one site than most of the other electric car manufacturers probably combined do. Kind of shocking, really. Speaks to the strength of Tesla's position. Righty, time to go get Jasper. Were you a good boy today? Yes, you were. So that means... very careful. Whee! Did you like that skate park then?
Yeah.
It's worth being a good boy, isn't it? When you're a good boy, we can have lots of fun. I do like a happy ending. I hope you've enjoyed today's vlog post. If you have, remember to like it, share it, and subscribe if you haven't already, and follow me on Instagram if you don't already. And I'll see you tomorrow for the next installment of my daily vlog. Bye. Careful!
It's almost kinda.
Yeah.
But I'm alright.
That's good. Right, come on. Just another couple of goes, Jasper, and then it's time for supper, okay?